Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm so happy to have you. To my peers and subscribers, welcome back to the channel. So for today's video, we're going to be discussing two topics per the thumbnail and the title of this video. We're going to talk about Gavin Newsom and former Vice President Harris and find out whether or not she can be running for the governorship of California, while Gavin Newsom is moving further and further to the Republicans in terms of ideology. We're going to find out what happened to Gavin Newsom and finding out how he's been paid off. We're going to find out. I don't know what we're going to be walking into, so we're going to keep an open mind today, find out both for Harris and for Newsom. If you guys have watched my long video a long time ago, I talked about the best pathway for Harris to the presidency will essentially evolve her to gather more information and more info on whether or not she wants to run for governor or not. And I did a video on this a while ago. Let me see if I can show you what that video is, and I will put the link to that video in the description below. I talk about their future and the likely pathways for them to become president. Now, I always said in the past that Harris would become 49, the 49th president, not the 48th, which means that Vance will probably be the 48th, and he'll probably take over for 45 at some point when he croaks, or, as you really want to announce it, President must, but according to legality aspect, it will be 45 who will pass away. Okay, so now I'm going to find that video right now. I'm actually have it. Okay, so it's a meditation plus channeling. Nope, that's another reason, the wrong one. Where is this one? Okay, so I think it's this one. It says pathway to the presidency, or pathway to President Vance, President Harris, economy, 2026 midterms, and tarot card reading. This was posted on January the 8th, 2025. I'll put the link to this video in the description below. But essentially, can they become president before 2026? So definitely go watch that video if you have not already. It's going to give us a little bit more information, and it makes sense. But I also talk about in that video how Harris, in order for her to really become president, she needs to be able to gain a little bit more political experience before she does become president. For some reason, that is essential, and it showed up in the cards as an essential thing that she needs if she wants to become president. So we will see what comes to Harris and to Newsom. So let's go take a look at that. This video is being recorded on Friday, March 7th at 12:43 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, as of when I am recording this specific video. So that is when we're recording this. If you want to help out the channel growing some formality, you can do so by liking, commenting, subscribing, hitting the bell icon, engaging with the content by commenting in the comment section below, or watching this video longer than normal. This video is just for entertainment purposes only. For entertainment purposes only, everything in this video is just for alleged. And if you have been noticing that YouTube is not notifying you or deleting your comment, you can go into the description or the comment section below and follow my Blue Sky account or my Facebook group if you want to be notified when I do post and upload. Alright, so that was a little bit of a long intro. I don't like that. I don't like long intros. I'm sure you don't either. So let's go on, head on in. Let's start with Gavin Newsom, and then we'll finish off with Harris on a high note. Let's do that. So Spirit Angel, tell me about Gavin Newsom. Why is Gavin Newsom starting to change his political stances and on his belief on certain issues? Who is Gavin Newsom really, and what is he trying to do? Again, I have no problem criticizing Democrats and Republicans. You all know this by now. For those of you guys who are new, I criticize both of them equally, because I don't have any loyalty to the Democrats or to the Republicans. I'm loyal to nobody. I tell you what I get, and that's what I get. Whether or not I agree or disagree with it, it's not my opinion, and my opinion does not get influenced by the cards. Okay. Is Elon Musk here? Has Elon Musk paid off Gavin Newsom? No. No. We have here because he sees himself. How do I best put this? He wants to moderate himself for the presidency. He wants to moderate himself because he believes that the election was not stolen. He believed that it was legitimate. at least in his state, which is true in a way. California and what happened in California was legitimate in some way. How do I know this? Is because in my past Psychic Challenge that I did in 2021, I talked about how California, New York, Illinois, New Mexico, Virginia were going to go moving more to the right. Those states were more a representative of what happened, where the swing states moved to the left, but instead they moved to the right when they were not supposed to. So those 7 states, they were moving because of manipulation, not because of anything other than manipulation. But he does see a rightward trend, and it makes a lot of sense because a lot of liberals are leaving the state of California for better lives, and so they're going into areas making Texas, for example, bluer. And that's where all those Californians are going. So making California actually redder than previous been, where it has been prior. And also Latinos moving towards the right, also making California redder. Now the thing is that he doesn't understand is that what 45 is doing to Latinos is going to change the dynamic and how they vote. The question is, will it do anything? Or is he picking up trends that are going unnoticed by the general polling industry? And is he noticing that Latinos do not care what 45 does to them because they themselves believe that they want to be integrated into the community, that they want to be included? Think of it this way. Think of it like a high school popularity contest. You can have these whole bunch of nerds, but there will always be one person who wants to be involved, who wants to be part of the popular group. That is what it feels like. It feels like there's a certain demographic here that wants to be included as quote unquote the white majority, even though the white majority is actually being depleted. But they want to be a part of that cool group or popular group. Now, going back to Gavin Newsom here, and what is he trying to do? Who's Gavin Newsom, and what is he trying to do? We have the Three of Cups. And the Three of Cups talks about his victory, his surprise victory. You know, we talked about in the past, we talked about Gavin Newsom and his recall, and how I said that he was going to be recalled, blah, blah, blah. But I said I didn't see him winning. It ended up not being the case. However, the energy here is saying that he pulled off a surprise victory, an upset for the ages, right? He was able to do that. He had, I think he ran 3 times. I don't know if that's true. But let me just see that right now. Let me see how many times Gavin Newsom ran, at least for governor in California. California governorship. Election. Okay. So he ran in 2022. He ran in 2021, where that's the recall vote. Then he also ran in 2018. Yeah, he ran in 2018, did not run in 2014. So that's exactly 3 races. So this is talking about the past year. Talking about the first time he ran, the recall, and him running again a year later. These are 3 races that he won. He won them all pretty handily. However, he's going into a place now where he is starting to backstab his voters, is essentially what it feels like. It feels like backstabbing. Because here we have the agreement between the people and the leader and who they elected. All the promises that he made and the things that he said to the people of California to get him elected, he's starting to backstab them. It feels like them. It feels like betrayal, it feels like to me. I just can't shake it. It feels like betrayal. But it feels like minor things. It's not major things. He's done the big things that he promised, but he's doing minor things that it's going to become explosive sometime in the future. But we have here minor. Something he does here that betrays the people and is on a continuous basis that this is minor. So whatever Gavin Newsom is doing is minor and goes unnoticed, but it's significant simultaneously. Because we have here, this is the person look at the bigger picture, and you're seeing the small things in the background. But when you reverse it, it's looking at the small thing, not seeing the bigger picture. People are noticing the little snippets of who Gavin Newsom is. And in some way, some of them are noticing it. They're noticing it, and it's becoming a bigger picture. It's becoming his hallmark. Who is Gavin Newsom? Well, I don't like him because he did this, he did that, he did this. That is what people are going to nitpick him for. So he's going to nitpick it because he is not following on his promise as when he was first elected and onwards for the 3 elections that he wanted. However, we have the King of Pentacles. I think it's ending. I think whatever it is, I don't know if there's a term limit in California, I'm not entirely sure, but his term is ending. His term is ending. He was the King of Pentacles. people in the state of California have lost money than when they first elected him into office. They actually feel like having him in office was actually bad for the economy in some way, that people feel like they were better off without Gavin Newsom. I don't know how people in California are feeling about Gavin Newsom, but in some way, when it comes to the money or people's daily lives that are affected, they feel like Gavin Newsom didn't benefit them the way that they wanted. This is when he leaves office, which means he still has some time before he leaves office. But up until that point and after he leaves, people will review him and say, I was better off before he was elected. That's the energy. Here we have the 10 of one, the 10 of stories here, which means betrayal. In some way, it feels like it, how do I describe it? It feels like uneasy circumstances. Like these are things that he could not control. So like the COVID pandemic, what happened with the tariff and all those things, the economy, all those things were out of his control. He is not the president. But yeah, people blame him for it. So it feels like either way, it feels like two outcomes here. There's a part of the group in part of the voting bloc in California blamed him for some of his things not following through on his promises. The other half blamed him for the economy and the economy going slow and him not doing enough to do anything, but knowing full well that he couldn't do anything. There was nothing that he can do because it was the president's job, not his job. That's what it feels like for Gavin Newsom. Now, going into the next part here, after he leaves office, we have to pay the story. Now, this is a guy who's going to come in and announce a campaign. He's going to come in swinging pretty hard. Here's the pay the story. He has ambition, political ambition. He wants to be president. However, he's not going to be able to hold that position. If he was to be announcing that he's running, he is the front runner for the Democratic Party, and he clinches the nomination, he's losing. He's not winning. Here we have the four Pentacles. The four Pentacles are saying it's not his time. It's not his place to be president. It's not his place. That is what the page of swords is telling me. It's saying that it's not his time. It's a woman's time. He cannot outshine her. He cannot outshine the feminine. If he represented feminine energy, then yes, he will be essentially a winner. But he's a loser in this aspect. It's saying here that he represents the masculine side of the Democratic Party. He does not represent the feminine side. A winning strategy into the next election cycle is going to be a feminine energy. I just saw like a hand over here. It freaks me out a little bit. I don't know where that came from. Here we have the next card that comes in is the Knight of Pentacles. And the Knight of Pentacles is slow moving, fast paced. So he is going to be very fast with where his decision making. Once he leaves office, right after he announced, this man moves quickly. He's moving quickly. He's trying to get the ball rolling. He's trying to get as much support around him as possible. That is what Gavin Newsom is trying to do. However, can you trust the man? No. I'm sorry for those of you guys who do like him. This is not my personal opinion. I honestly thought that, I was on the fence. I'm open to all plausibility and possibility. The cards are saying here, this card is specifically saying you cannot trust this man. Here we have the Six of Pentacles. He will be more than happy to take money when opportunities presented to him, while also putting up a front that he is representing the Democratic Party. So what is this saying? He's saying it's going to be the same old Democratic Party. Now, if you have noticed, the Democrats, they say something, they do the opposite. For example, they say, oh, we're going to help black people during Black Lives Matter. We're going to help them, get the rights that they need, blah, blah, blah. You want to know what they end up doing in the Capitol? They wore an African outfit, and they just kneel down and say, that's our protest. These are the same Democrats who went into the joint Congress and wore pink lipstick or pink outfits and say, we're protesting. These are the same Democrats who say something, do the opposite. These are the do-nothing Democrats. That's what they are. He represents what we call the do-nothing Democrats. Now, that is something I just made up off the dot here, but that's the energy that it feels like. It feels like Gavin Newsom is a do-nothing Democrat. He's going to say something, he's not going to do it. Okay? He's going to be the opposite of Trump in some way. Trump was openly honest with his voters and say, this is what I'm going to do, and he went out and did it. Even though whether or not it's for their best interest is not up for option here. But 45 went out there, he told them, I'm going to dismantle the Department of Education. I'm going to dismantle this. I'm going to dismantle that. He did it. So people will see him as a man who's going to do something, whereas Gavin Newsom is going to be seen as a man who do nothing Democrat. I don't know why that's coming in, but maybe sometime around the time when this happens, we're going to understand this more and more clearly why he's considered a do nothing Democrat. We'll find out eventually soon. At the bottom of the card, though, the bottom of the deck, is we have this. We have the Empress, the woman, the Empress here. You have to let her run. You have to let her shine. This is the Empress here. It's the woman. Give her another chance. That's what it's saying. That Gavin Newsom, if he's trying to do it, he's going to try and sideline her to make sure that he is the front runner. He can't be the front runner. She has to be the front runner. That's what the energy's feeling like. It's feeling like he can't be the front runner. He is trying to hijack it against her. He needs to let her run her course. He needs to let her do her thing. Whatever female this is, whether this is Harris or not, there's a feminine energy here, whether it's a male with feminine energy or it's a female with feminine energy, whatever it is, it's feminine. He needs to let them run. He needs to let them do their thing because he's going to hijack it and it's going to cost the Democrats another 4 more years at the White House. So hopefully Gavin Newsom does the right thing, but I don't see him winning. If he was to run in 2028, he's losing. He's losing, and it's because he can't enthusiast the base, and he considers do-nothing Democrat. So that's what I'm getting. I'm also getting he cannot be trusted in some way. He is more so like what you would call a corporate Democrat. He would be more than happy to be a capitalist and will support businesses even against their own consumers. So no, I don't see him being the nominee. And if he is the nominee, God help them all. You know, like I always said, the Democrats are going to fall first. So if this is how the Democrats fall, then so be it. But remember, the Democrats fall first. The Democrats fall first, then the Republicans follow after. The Democrats must collapse first, then the Republicans. We've seen that before with Al Green. Al Green, there was a vote to censure Al Green. The 10 Democrats sided with the Republicans in censoring. But no way in any point in time when Marjorie Taylor Greene or Lauren Boebert was 10 times worse because Al Green was not bad at all. He was just protesting. Marjorie Taylor Greene and Boebert were actively engaged in discourse, and yet they were not censored. But somehow the Democrats say, oh, when the Republicans do something, we agree with them. Because remember, the Democrats don't care about you. They never did and they never will. The Democrats are highly representative of the people and the corporate interests that pays them than the people who elected them. There's a reason why we have, do-nothing Democrats. That's essentially what they are. We got to support the Democrats who are out there doing stuff like Bernie Sanders, AOC, Al Green, Maxine Waters. Those are the Democrats you want to support. You don't want to support do-nothing Democrats. And actually, I will release the names eventually soon of those who voted to censure Al Green because we need to get those people out of Congress. We cannot have them in position because they're already compromised. They already showed that they're compromised. The Democrats Party already shown that they're compromised. We cannot trust them to do the right thing. There's a reason why the Republicans are in the position that they are in, and the Democrats are in a loser position because the Democrats are do-nothing Democrats. So to keep that in mind too, going forward, that you cannot trust a Democrat the same way you cannot trust a Republican. Remember, unless they actually show you by action, do not trust them until they show you otherwise. So that's for Gavin Newsom. Let's take a look at Harris. Let's see what's going on with her for the governorship. I don't base my opinions on anything until I read the cards, and I base my opinions on the cards. So essentially what that means is I let the card tell me the information, then my opinion is changed based off the cards. So if the cards say, if I just say, for example, I believe, there's not going to be an economy crash tomorrow. This is an example. This is not something that I got in any way. Let's say the economy is going to crash tomorrow, and I believe the economy is not. But the cards say I changed my opinion to the card because I trust my intuition, I trust my gut. So what I feel now might change because I changed my opinion based on what I got in the card. My opinion changed based on the card. Like, for example, I did not like Harris for many years. When I started the channel, I was very vocal about it. I did not. It allowed me to become very detached to her, which means that I was able to read more accurately on Harris. But essentially, I did not like her until I met her one night going into the election, and that's when I was very certain I was going to vote for her. But I actually didn't know who I was going to vote for. I wasn't sure if I was going to vote. I always get these visions, these visions when it's time. But basically the moral of the story is my opinion changed based on the information I get from the spiritual world. I don't influence the information based on my opinions at the moment to influence what the spirits are saying. I don't do that way. The spirit tells me what the information is. Then I choose personally whether or not I want to change my opinions on it or whether I want to keep it. And that's up to me. But that's essentially how I operate. I never put my opinions in the card. So even though I'm very passionate about it, and saying that, the Do Nothing Democrats, that's not my personal opinion. That was something that came in today's reading. Although I said the Democrats are complicit, I never once called them Do Nothing Democrats till today. Alright, so let's do the last card or the last reading, and we're going to talk about Harris. Let's talk about Harris and let's find out what's going on with her. Alright, so Spirit saying, tell me about former Vice President Harris, who is planning or considering a run for Congress in California in 2026. What is the future of Harris in California? Give me 3 cards that represent Harris. Okay, these are 3 cards that represent Harris. Okay. We have California. Show me California. What card represents California's governorship in 2026 if Harris is running? Show me what's going on here in California. I'm hearing people in California want change. The change coming in California. Whatever it is, something's going on in California. People are not happy in California. Here we have the Hermit card reversed. There's a sense of darkness. Something is going on in California that's going unnoticed, and it has to do with the incumbent. So it has to do with Gavin Newsom here. There's something revolving around some sort of dark energy around Gavin Newsom, and here we have the Tower. Yeah. So a change is coming, and it's interesting because it feels like to me the Gavin Newsom tonight may not be the Gavin Newsom that you see when he leaves. Like, he's an entirely different person, which is why a lot of you guys, including me, are a little bit confused and puzzled because I wasn't against Gavin Newsom in any way. There was always something off about him and why I didn't officially support him. But now that I'm getting information, it makes a lot of sense now. Here's the 8 of Pentacles. There's something going on here with Gavin Newsom. You just got to allow time to play out. But in some way, in some form, the incumbent is going to do something. It's going to damage Democrats' chance in the state of California. There's something here that he's doing in the future that's going to damage the state of California, and specifically the Democratic Party in California. The first card that we get here, this is Howard Chancellor. This is California governorship. We have the Judgment card. The Judgment is making the call, making that decision, making that announcement. If just say she was to choose to seek this announcement, here's in the Judgment or an announcement, I have a feeling, I'll be honest with you guys, I have a feeling she's not going to go for it. Like, it feels like she's not going to go for the governorship. That's what the energy feels like. However, in this outcome, if she does choose to seek it, we have the Judgment card. The Judgment, she makes that announcement because she is out of office, out of power. She wants to become more politically relevant again. She's not politically relevant right now because she's out of the news cycle. We have here the Emperor, which means it's the Democratic Party, which is why it's upright, because it means a position for right now with the Emperor, which means the Democratic Party is the incumbent party in California for the governorship. The Judgment making a call for the governorship because she left this feeling and energy of feeling betrayed. Here are the 3 of Swords. The 3 of Swords reverse represents a betrayal, right? It's reverse, which means she left that energy of feeling betrayed. She healed that part of her what happened in the election. However, what is challenging her announcement and the Emperor is whether or not she's willing to let go of the presidency. That is the challenge to this. I have a feeling Harris may not consider. If she does, she may not hold the seat for long. Because the reason is, it feels again, she might use it as a stepping stone to become politically relevant to attack 45 in some way. So if she was to do that, and she was to win, she'll use that as a platform to attack 45 and his administration, essentially to do almost like payback for what 45 did to Biden and her when they were in power. So it's almost like a dynamic where she can be fighting from the state of California governor, and she's going to make some big key highlights against 45 if she was to win. However, her decision is still hanging on the balance of whether or not she wants to still seek the presidency. And if she does, she has 2 options here. She can either go to the governorship, win it, become governor for 2 or 3 years and then relinquish that governorship to somebody else and become president, or she just could bypass the governorship and just become or run for president. There's 2 ways that she can do it. Either way is leading towards the presidency. The question is, does she still want the presidency? Is a whole nother thing. Here we have the governorship in California, though, which is the devil card. The devil card represents 45, and his influence changed in California, which means it's in the past tense, which means sometime around this point when Harris makes this call, it's going to be under the intention or the pretense that there's nothing too bad or nothing too sour about the state of California at this point in time, which means that what I'm talking about now with Gavin Newsom and the incumbent Democratic Party in California, nothing's going wrong right now. That's why I'm confused just as much as you are. But there's something going on towards closer to election day that is going to start to shift. The energy is going to start shifting as we get closer and closer. We're going to understand what that means. But right now, there's nothing wrong. And here we have the devil card, which means everything's going right as planned. Nothing has changed. There is freedom in California, essentially. Here we have the hangman reverse, which means an enlightenment, an aura, a change. People want a change in California. They kind of get sick and tired of the same old, same old. And here we have the King of Pentacles. Now, this is the card that represented Gavin Newsom in the prior reading. Here is the King of Pentacles. They want change. Whether or not Harris can represent that change and she can influence and tell them, hey, listen, I am not the same incumbent party as the one that's in power now. But essentially, she has to convince the voter that she is not another do-nothing Democrat. She has to do something to convince the voter that she is not a Democrat, that she is an American governor. Because she has to broadly appeal to the people in California that she is different, that she is not the same. Because people in California are looking for one who can create the most change. They want change in California. Whatever is going on in California, whether it's done by the 45 administration or it's the people who are currently in position of power in California, people want change in California. And she needs to be able to convince the voter that she is the person for change. And here we have the star card, which means it's going to be kind of lopsided. I'm getting around 60% of the vote for one candidate, 63% max, and I'm getting around 30% towards the second candidate. So whatever this is talking about here, that there's going to be a candidate that's going to shine through. They're going to get around 60% of the vote, more than majority of the popular vote, but California is going to be pretty significantly leaning one way or the other. But it is going to be significant in one way because, again, it feels like one side is more heavy than the other, which tells me one candidate is going to have more of the victory. It does not specify whether or not Harris is going to win. That's a whole other thing. But it is specifying one candidate in particular is going to win the majority of the vote. The question is that majority of the vote for the Democratic Party, or do they want enough change to remove the Democratic Party and install another party in position of power in the governorship? That's the whole other thing. The question is, well, if Harris decides to run, can she convince the voters of California that she is different enough to elect her? Or will she be brought down by whatever Gavin Newsom does in office that prevents her from becoming governor in California? But that's the energy that I'm getting right now in California. Is there anything else you'd like to add? No, they said I hit it right on the nail. So that's essentially what guys are saying right now in regard to the Gavin Newsom situation and former Vice President Harris in regards to the California governorship in California. So that's what I'm getting. We'll see what happens. Hopefully Gavin Newsom does the right thing and the energy shift and change. It also feels like, again, it's going to be something going on in California that changes the whole dynamic. And it's almost like Gavin Newsom partnered up with somebody within the 45 administration and it tanked the approval of the governorship in some way. Potentially that might initiate a Harris run for president. It might initiate that. It also might initiate a Democrat change. They want a new Democrat in. They feel betrayed. Whatever it is, the energy is in California right now around the time when that election is taking place is that they feel in some capacity betrayed by the people in charge and they want change. Whether that change is a new party in power or whether or not they just want someone different as governor. That's yet to be seen, and yet whether or not we're going to see that, that is something that we're going to have to wait and see. But until then, that's what we're getting. So, although guys, I love you, have a great night, enjoy today's video. I hope you guys like my content on this YouTube channel. So if you do support the channel, I do appreciate it. And let me know in the comment section below what you guys do think. And whether or not you agree or disagree, whether or not the information I'm getting. In the meantime, I love you. Have a great night. And I'll see you guys soon. Bye.